Go ahead.
I was going to say, makes me think of a band called Nightwish.
Nightwish.
Yeah, you ever heard of Nightwish?
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
I have not.
Really?
What?
Oh,
No.
I classify them as like opera adventure metal.
Oh.
That's the feel you get from it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's wicked. You got to look it up.
I'll have to. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Blue Collar Philosophers podcast. We got a guest.
Yes, this is Kickstand, this biker Mike from Mars.
Hello.
And we've got a special guest in the studio tonight.
Third chair?
Yes, Coyne Pomeroy.
Coyne.
We can bleep that out if you don't want. But
Yeah.
No,
We can
it's
bleep
all right.
out your
It's
last name.
No, that's right.
Coyne.
Yes.
Is that a given name or adopted name? Or is it like a nickname?
Coin?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's definitely my full name.
That's your
Like
given name.
my given name, yeah.
Oh. That's a...
Yeah, a few years ago I looked it up, and it's Gaelic, which is Irish, for
Yes.
wild goose. So you might make a connection there, but yeah.
All right. That's
That's awesome.
So we could call you Goose, and it wouldn't be that far off the realm.
Where's Maverick?
That's right. A little Top Gun good joke right there, just to kick things off. How have I not heard of that band before?
Nightwish? I don't know. Like they're one of the big modern metal bands.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the problem. Modern stuff is just very...
I mean, by modern,
By,
by modern, I mean like since the year 2000.
okay, yeah, no, I should have heard of them then.
Yeah.
This is me being ignorant.
Yeah, definitely look them up. Great
Yeah.
band.
Yeah. So their first singer was an actual opera, like
Yeah.
what do you call it, a soprano?
That is a term. I don't know if that's what she was.
Well,
but
there was a group called the Tenors, and one or
No, she was a like a female opera singer with a fairly high register.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know, maybe an alto. I'm just gonna throw out all the music words.
A tenor, if I may.
No, those are dudes.
No, that's the three tenors.
Yeah, tenors are dudes.
That's kind of sexist. Just assume that a female is incapable of being a
I know nowadays we can't.
Yeah, it is
A
2023.
female could be a
after all.
tenor now.
I have no idea. I don't know music words. I should ask my cousin. She's smart in the opera sense. Yeah. Did you know that? I got a cousin who does the whole opera thing.
I did not know that.
Yeah. She's very musical.
Okay, so you have one cousin who's like getting arrested for like stabbings and meth.
No. He got stabbed. He got stabbed.
Got stabbed. Wasn't arrested.
I don't
just
know
stabbed.
if he stabbed anybody, but he definitely got stabbed.
Okay, so he had a trip in the ambulance, not in the paddy wagon. Gotcha.
Apparently, he had to play dead and everything.
Play dead.
Oh, yeah.
You had to play dead?
They went and like stabbed people, and he had to pretend he was dead. This is third
To avoid getting stabbed again, or
yes,
what? Okay,
to
that
avoid
makes
the guy
sense.
finishing the job.
That makes sense.
Oh,
I'd probably
We
do
got
the same
different last names, so it's all right. No one's gonna figure this shit out. But and then I got other cousins that
that do opera. Apparently,
do opera. That's the other side of the family.
That's a huge jump.
That's my father's side of the family. Or no. Yeah, that is. That's my father's side of the family and my mother's side of the family.
Gotcha. I was just thinking that's like hanging out with Travis. Where like one day you're hanging out with Russian shot callers from the Russian mob in Calgary, and the next minute you're hanging out with the church group in McLennan, Alberta,
which is again where my family, most of my family is. But yes, so yeah, my family is and then there's me, which is a creative genius who.
Are you trying to hurt my brain right now?
Who says horrible dad puns? I had some gold tonight.
Oh, you were rocking puns like mad tonight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. I heard a few Metallica jokes, and I'm like, and then one of them. You ever just hear one, like a bunch of jokes all at once, and you're like, I need to remember one of these, and I'm like, and that was the one that I remembered, because I know you have a love-hate relationship with Metallica, and yeah, so I had to have a Metallica joke on deck.
Fair, I appreciate that.
So anyways,
Tailored for your enjoyment.
yeah,
This is brotherhood.
This is brotherhood. He broke it.
Yeah, I was just going to go back to the broken rib story.
Go ahead.
Okay, so at one point a couple of years ago, I dumped my bike and broke a couple ribs. And it hurt to laugh. So what does a good brother do?
Makes you laugh.
As much as he can.
Groans, whatever, just anything. And the second that I see him starting to laugh, I'm like, I know what I must do.
Yeah, bust out the
My destiny is clear.
you bust out the stupid Mickey Mouse laugh that
Oh.
I could not help but laugh at every time you did it. Asshole.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just come around and oh, I'm gonna fuck you. Oh, I'm gonna fuck you. Oh.
See? Right?
It's
So
a-
imagine all that going on while you're writhing in pain.
Yeah. Oh,
and,
yeah.
and the pain makes it funnier, so you're laughing at yourself
Yes, it
simultaneously.
does.
It has nothing to do with my actual joke. It's the fact
No.
that if any part of it works to the nth degree. So it's just a micro. All I need is just a fucking little bit. That's what I told the wife. Just a little bit. And
Of course, gross dad joke.
gross dad joke.
How many kids later?
Hey, you have a few crotch goblins.
I got sex trophies.
Some records broken.
a lot of broken things, hopes, dreams, financial stability,
Prophylactics.
Bank accounts.
bank account. Yeah, I don't work no more. Except I can't even blame my kids. It's not like I was rolling in the money beforehand. It's like no, I don't even know how things add up anymore. We just do. I
Just make it work.
Just magic. I'm like, we'll see.
PFM.
Yeah, bills are still paid. Mortgage is still getting done. I'm like, I have no idea. The last 2 years have been a mystery. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, you're in the same boat of like, I don't know how I'm getting by, but here we are. And the bike's still on the road. That's the blessing.
Both
Actually,
bikes.
last year was a big one for me. Because Buddy called me up. He's like, hey, how much for the year? And I'm like, dude, like a few $100. And he's like, cool. And he came with me and he like paid my insurance out for the year. Well, the 6 months or whatever. Like not crazy, but I'm like, what? No, I don't know. I'll be fine. And he's like, no, I want to. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I don't deserve this, but thank you.
My bad.
Party foul. Oh, so we've had a bit of a week. And my wife, this was her idea, by the way. Not you, but
I was like, she hasn't even met me yet.
recording was her idea. She's like, you guys need to get a few in the bank because I know you're going to have some dead weeks here coming up that might not be able to record. And so I'm like,
This is true.
that is true. So we got to record while we can because not strike while the iron's hot. We haven't stopped in over a year and a half. So
And there's no hot iron.
there's
We're not lighting the
hot-
world on
there's
fire.
no incentive except for Germany. Fuck Germany. No, just kidding. We have a few in Germany. We randomly, like, all over the world. Like, just people download Australia, Germany, Belgium, India, a lot in Russia.
Russia?
Mostly because of our
I don't look at the stats.
mostly because of our pro-Russian bend that we have to absolutely everything. So, like I said, this is my wife's idea to record. That was yesterday, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm spending time with my son," and I'm like, "Okay." And then so when I suggested it, and we started talking about recording tonight, she's like, "Why don't you just tell Devin you have to spend time with your kids?" I'm like,
I mean, turnabout is fair play.
"It's true."
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Like whiskey. So, yeah, this was her idea to record. This is really smooth. It's dangerous.
Yeah, this is a great sipping whiskey.
Yeah.
What is it called?
This
Really
was
good
Coyne's.
old-fashioned.
This was Coyne's.
Coyne suggestion.
Yeah, that's my favorite rye whiskey that I've found so far.
Oh, rye. Yeah. Lot 40 rye whiskey, dark oak.
It's a Wiser's brand.
Is it a Wiser's?
Yep.
I'm looking for the Wiser's and I'm not seeing it, but I
You
appreciate
don't
it.
see it on the bottle, but if you look it up online, it's a Wiser's brand. Which
Most-
is surprising because it does not taste like Wiser's.
No, not at all.
Not at all. I don't mind Wiser's, but at the same time, I'm not going out of my way for a... Straight whiskeys don't always... I don't know what people like about Jack Daniels.
Well,
It's garbage to me.
I kind of liked it until it came out of my nose one time.
It's over.
After that, it was done. I
don't know,
smell
like-
it now, and it's just like, ugh, no.
I've been trying to explore Jack Daniels again, and there is a certain
Je ne sais quoi.
like charcoaliness that is unique to it. So it's unique. I don't think it's good, but when something is its own thing, you're always going to find a market for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have done very good marketing. of a whiskey company for what they have for their product. They have done an amazing job marketing.
Oh yeah, like is there any whiskey label that looks as good as what Jack Daniel's does?
No.
Like people paint their bikes with this stuff, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can-
T-shirts, everything, everywhere.
Yeah.
yeah, like it's iconic.
Yeah.
If you can be iconic, you don't have to be good.
Yeah. Even Grey Goose, it's pretentious vodka. A vodka is very boring and very easy to make, and there's nothing special. It's not like whiskey, a rye whiskey, a bourbon, a scotch. Like these things take a certain level of time, precision, like thought. Vodka, you just filter it.
Yeah.
There's nothing good or special about it. It just kind of is. And I don't understand the hype with vodka.
No, it's a neutral spirit. Yeah,
Well, since you're there.
you add it to things so that you can have some booze, but
Yeah.
not taste it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, I like this one. It's pretty good. Most of the time, I go for a bullet bourbon. Have you tried bullet bourbon?
I haven't yet. It's on my list.
It's very good. We did a little bit of a tasting. You like this one more than Knob Creek, and it is better. But I think for me, it's just it is good. But I like it. I'm a simple man, so I like simple tastes, and I like the bullet because it's a little more sweet and a little more less complicated.
Have you tried I think it's Basil Hayden?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes,
have.
we did.
We actually had a bottle with
The
that here in the room.
peppery. It was pretty good. It was all right. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, that one wasn't my favorite.
No, you didn't like that one as much. It had a few good points to it. I didn't mind it. The price point wasn't worth it though.
I think that was it.
Yeah, for what we paid, I'm like, it's not that good. Have you tried the Johnny Walker Blue?
No, I want to.
Don't pay for
So
it.
not worth it.
No?
Don't
I don't
pay.
know.
If somebody's gonna give you some, great, try it. But I would not pay that price point for it. It's good.
I thought maybe my palate just wasn't
Refined.
refined enough to appreciate it the first time I tried it. And then I tried it again later, and I was like, nope, this is just... I would rather a different scotch any day of the week.
Yeah, it's not an aged. It's a blended. It's fine. It is okay. But for that price point,
Yeah.
let somebody else pay. And that's how I got it. That's the thing. I had a brother come up and he's like, you want to try this? I'm like, of course I want to try it. I've never tried that. I can't afford it. And he had a customer buy it for him.
Oh.
And so I'm like, oh, okay. So we tried it together. And I'm like, I feel bad because this is not that. And he's like, yeah, it's not as good.
You're like, oh, thank God somebody said it.
Like, it's fine. It's good, but not for that price point.
Yeah, I think the most expensive scotch that I've tried is Glengoyne.
Glengoyne.
Yeah. It was like a special blend, but there's still a bottle of it at my parents' place right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice. It's smooth.
My neighbor wants to come on the podcast so bad. He's like, do you like scotch? I'm like, I love scotch.
Talking about Duncan?
No. The other roommate, the one with the loud ass car.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And I'm like, yeah, I love scotch. And he's like, do you want to try something? And I'm like, no, I've been drinking. That's how much I love scotch. I won't drink it. No, let the ice chime, my friend. Just get that right in the microphone. Where I will not drink a scotch or something that's supposed to be good after I've had a few drinks because I'm like, no, I want to appreciate the taste. I want to actually focus on it and take in. If I've had like 4 or 5 beer, I'm not having a scotch.
No, you're not going to pick up on the subtleties.
No. And
No,
even
not at all.
my brother-in-law was the same way. He's like, hey, you want some of this? I'm like, of course I do. It's like, oh, well, let me pour you a glass. I'm like, no.
And like even like the kind of glass you're using comes into play when you're having nice whiskey like that. Because you want the aromas and everything.
You see those whiskey glasses, and they're designed a specific way for a very
Yes.
specific reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that sophisticated yet. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But once we get our whiskey sponsor from... Nobody. I was going to say something, but I'm like, no, we don't have it.
We need
You want insert name here.
There we go.
Yeah, if anyone knows any has any connections anywhere.
Yeah.
We just need some guy brewing moonshine out of his basement toilet.
Actually,
he can be
You
our
go
sponsor.
blind.
Actually, now that you mention it,
I know a guy.
I happen to know someone who makes root beer moonshine.
Oh.
Interesting.
Hold on.
Yeah,
You realize sarsaparilla is actually poisonous, right?
yeah.
Like-
So is moonshine.
True. That is true. If it's, I think like cancerous poison, not like That's why sarsaparilla is not made anymore. Even root beer, which is sarsaparilla flavoring, is not actual sarsaparilla.
Okay, so you know how there's that kind of urban myth that if you have too much moonshine or too powerful of moonshine, you'll go blind, sort of thing. That has nothing to do with like how people make moonshine now at all. Like that's not a risk.
That's not a risk here.
No.
You know, it's really fun. I got moonshine.
This is podcast facts that I learned from other podcasts. I'm sharing here, like normal white guys.
No. This
Share the knowledge.
The white tradition of stealing things. All right, keep going.
Yes.
We're a covetous breed.
Facts.
All right. So the distilling process is not the same, or what?
It's from what do you call it? Prohibition times when they were trying so hard to meet the demand for what people were actually drinking. They took denatured alcohols or alcohols that were made out of wood, not grains. That is a whole different type of thing, and it's very, very toxic and poison to the human body.
Yeah.
So they would take denatured alcohol that you could get from the hardware store for stripping paint and try and renature it so that it's fit for human consumption.
Ethanol based.
Ethanol. Yeah, so it's ethanol. And if you do it wrong or don't renature it properly, that's when you can get like the stuff like blindness or like severe side effects, because that's what moonshiners were trying to do. They weren't trying to make whiskey. They were trying to renature stuff that they could buy cheap from the hardware store.
Wasn't there somebody who like took out an insurance policy on somebody and they were poisoning? You told me about this. I'm quite sure.
Yes, and they were doing it with renatured wood alcohol.
Yeah, they were renatured, and they took out an insurance policy on a guy, and they're like, we're going to collect on this insurance. So they were trying to poison him, and he wouldn't die. There you go. Now you're getting it. This guy,
you're a natural.
Have you ever thought about doing a podcast? I've got an idea for one. It's all about karaoke, and it's called Small Town Celebrities. Not actual celebrities.
Oh, my gosh. So last weekend, like I got back from Vancouver and the whole, Orthodox and poker run and all that thing.
Yeah.
So I got back, and my neighbors, my parents' neighbors, we live like a block apart, so it's kind of it's all muddled.
Yeah.
They were a Filipino family having a wedding in their backyard.
Oh, the one Filipino family here?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. However, Asian people love karaoke. And this wedding proved no different. So in their backyard, the whole evening was very
I know which earnest you're talking about.
And like filled with gusto karaoke all night long. It was fantastic.
What I was thinking about this today.
It was
what
so
is it
entertaining.
about people in karaoke? Why do we feel a need to do I knew this girl back in the day. I didn't know her. I know of her. And whenever it came time for a talent show, she would do borderline karaoke where she would sing these songs, but with so much gutspa. I don't know. Just conviction. Like this was her song. And I'm like, how is the best thing you do in your life a cover? I don't understand karaoke. I enjoy singing along to a tune, but I don't get it. Why do people love it so much? It really hurts my brain.
I don't know.
Like to the point that they actually like, I'm going to go up on stage.
Couple drinks in, I could be very well convinced to do it.
I could see you doing it because I've seen you drywall.
Yes.
If he's mudding by himself and he doesn't know you're in the area, even if he knows you're there, he don't care. He is bellowing. It's great.
All my favorite songs are off key. It's great.
Yeah. The thing is, you got quite the voice. You do have the
yes, but
vibrato.
no control of pitch.
Yeah.
lot of conviction.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's great. But I still don't understand karaoke.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you there. I just like same feeling. I like singing along to tunes, but like to make it your thing, your hobby, that thing that you do in your spare time is just like.
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking.
I think I'd rather find something else to do, like go for a ride.
Mm-hmm.
I was swearing at my bike so much today. I was getting into it really close to the end there. I'm like, come on! I'm trying to find that really sweet spot of right before the tire starts giving out. It's starting to kill me. So I was having a lot of fun. Yeah, and I stood on my back pegs,
And
allegedly,
let go of the handlebars.
and let go of the handlebars and put my hands way out just for a second, just to see. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I saw it. You're good.
The thing is, I know people that have done that for miles and like to the point where they're bored.
Yeah.
Well, Saskatchewan, right?
That makes sense.
Straight lines.
Just straight lines. It's like I might fall asleep up here, but my bike's not like that. And
Okay, some people cheat because some people have passenger floorboards, and that
That's
really,
a game changer.
I do have half and half, so they're not like big floorboards, but they're big enough that I can actually base my feet. I'm not.
Okay. So on my bike, the way it is now, it's really difficult to do because it's just passenger pegs.
Yeah.
Although I found, like, when I had the hard saddlebags on it, like, I could rest my calves.
Oh, yeah, you
I
can
could walk in
support
like that.
yourself off them.
Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
the cheat that I had figured out there.
Yeah, mine is strictly off feet and just having that little extra pad and balance. And
But you
wind
need
and
to,
all that.
like, it's weird because you need to lean forward to counteract the wind.
and
so
hope
you
that
don't-
the wind doesn't change.
Yeah, it's like we're really stupid. We're stupid people.
Horrible. There's something I do on the Taylor Bridge, which is really bad. Whenever there's an event happening, and I'm riding with people that don't know how to ride, I need to prove I've passed people on the Taylor Bridge. Don't do that, but I have, and then I will pass them and then go no hands and flap my arms like a bird, just to be like, hey, calm down. You're fine. Just ride. Just twist the throttle. You'll be okay. You're not going to crash. And to prove it, I let go of my bars.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other night when I went for the ride that you bailed on, both of you guys,
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
we met one of Bam's friends at the Peace Island Park.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's been riding for a few years now. Never once has he crossed the bridge.
I'm sorry, what? He was in Peace Island Park.
What?
Yeah, so
How
from
do you-
Dawson. From
Oh,
Dawson.
okay.
So
Oh,
he
okay.
came to meet us at Peace Island Park because he wouldn't come all the way to town.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Like riding for like 4 years, never once crossed the bridge. I didn't think that was possible. Like,
How? You'd be like, oh, I'm just not going to Fort St. John, or I'm not going anywhere
go
north,
all the way through Chetwynd Soap, I guess.
just to avoid a bridge.
I mean, like, would you be sad if to go to Dawson Creek you took the long way around through Hudson Soap
Well,
with all the
no,
twists and
but-
turns?
When you put it like that.
Do you have that much time? That's the thing. I value my time to it a little bit. I'm like, if I got literally nothing to do, like this is my day, great. I don't mind going that way. But if I'm like trying to make some time here and there, I can't. That feels like almost a waste. Like there are things I could be doing, unless that is what I'm doing. There's taking time and wasting time, and having to do that because I'm terrified of a bridge. Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
I feel bad for people like that. I really do, because I remember Wallen. He was terrified of heights.
Oh, Dwalin.
Dwallen.
Yeah, Dwalin.
Yeah, this guy was terrified of heights, and he was riding here. No one told him about the Taylor Bridge.
Oh, and he
And
looked
he's
down,
like-
didn't he?
Oh, there's a bridge. You can see through it. It's bad.
I know it's a trip, and it makes you kind of like lose your balance if you look down.
It does, yeah, because
Whoa.
you can see the water underneath.
and it's
you.
moving in a different direction than you are.
Oh, yeah.
That is a head trip.
Yeah.
I have astigmatism, so it's really hard for me to see past the grading. It's I'm like, this is just a ground to me. I don't see anything. I know you could if you focus. For me, no, I don't see past it.
Yeah, I have a slight astigmatism, but that's about it.
So what's astigmatism?
It's when your eyes focus on something that is closer rather than further away.
Okay.
So let's say you play hockey. Sorry,
you I play no sports.
you play no sports. Imagine
tell.
if you were wearing a helmet that you couldn't see through the visor and there was like a cage, slight cage. Your eyes would focus on the cage. I wore a fencing mask the other day, and I was like,
But that was difficult.
oh, it was so difficult. It hurt
Yeah.
my head. I'm like, I really want to look through it, but my eyes are stuck on this screen right in front of me. Because
For me, I catch myself like bouncing in and out. Like I can focus on the thing that's far away from me, but I catch myself like refocusing every now and then on what's right in front of my face. But mostly the big indicator for astigmatism is the halo effect around lights.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
get that all the time.
starburst and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yep.
you
Okay.
probably wouldn't understand unless you've been tested for
You're
it. But
just
yeah,
so fucking perfect.
I mean, like when driving at night, I do see like the beams of light coming from oncoming traffic. Like kind of go up and into the sides.
Yeah. You might be getting old.
Yeah.
That could be.
A glass. Oh, what would you look like with glasses?
I don't want to think about
Here,
it.
look, here. There you go.
Oh, okay. We're doing this.
Oh, wow.
You
Not bad, but different.
Not bad. Yeah,
I
emo
feel,
kid.
I feel like I'm looking through. I feel like I'm looking through like some kind of thing in front of me. Like it's like when you're wearing 3D glasses,
Yeah.
but you're not in the 3D theater. It's just everything feels a little off.
Don't wear them too long. They'll fuck with your eyes. How bad is your vision?
Mine's almost bad enough that I need him to drive.
I do
Almost
need mine to
bad
drive, and
Yeah.
So yours is probably.
Oh,
I mean,
it's-
like I
it's
saw
very
everything
bad.
in super clear definition. It's just like it's like there's glass in front of you though.
yeah, you probably got something.
Yeah, no, I just got these in January.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was life changing for me because I was just like, holy crap! I didn't realize how blind I was.
I've been wearing mine since I was like 10.
Yeah.
I can't imagine life without glasses. If I got surgery, I'd need to get glasses just to get used to not having glasses. Like
Yeah.
clear lenses.
I have been putting off going to the optometrist for so long because my wife, she's been wearing glasses for forever, but like she can read things I can't. She's like, yeah, it's probably getting time
Yeah.
for you to go and
Yep. I was kind of in the same boat, and I thought, well, I'm 30. Last time I had my eyes checked was like 7.
yeah,
So,
pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah, like it's to the point where like when I read, I can see with clear definition everything, but man, do I get a headache from reading stuff on paper.
I don't read. That's my trick. Just
Life hack. Life hack.
audiobooks only. Just lots of audiobooks. And now I forgot that I was drinking, and I agreed to read a Nietzsche book.
That's amazing.
And somebody calls me up and he's like, "Hey man, which book are we reading?" I'm like, "Fucking, I don't know what the hell you're talking about." And then I remembered, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, shit." So I did a little research, and I'm like, "All right, we're doing Beyond Good and Evil. It's a good philosophy book. It'll be great." I'm excited. I gave it a little sample listen just to get it. I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be really good." So I was looking forward to our trip to Drumheller, so I could listen to that while riding, 'cause I'm horrible otherwise. Anyways, should we tackle this subject really quick before we forget?
Oh, I forgot we had one. Go.
Yeah, we've been shooting the shit. Horrible transition. I apologize. We're going to be talking a little bit about the tragic death of tradition. Something jumped out at me today. I was doom scrolling, and I heard somebody say, "Oh, here's some great things to drink to." And then he just listed off a bunch of quotes to drink to. It's like, "Oh, we drink to this, or we drink to that."
Like Toastmaster.
Like a toast. And I'm like, oh my, I forgot about these. Because I had a friend back in the day, a roommate, and he would do that. He would just be like, "We're drinking to honor." And I'm like, "Okay." And we just drink and to whatever. And I guess I got to say it.
So whatever.
You said it earlier. You got to say it now.
Yeah, we were like, "Oh, we drink to honor. If we can't come in or come honor." And what's the other one? We drink to birds. The storks that bring good babies, the crows that bring bad babies, and the swallows that bring no babies at all. And so just these little things.
That last line really does it on that one.
It does. I heard it and I'm like, "Oh wow, I really appreciate that one." And it just made me think of that tradition of we drink to this, or to the friends that have seen us at our worst, and the friends that have seen it at our best, and the friends who don't know the difference, and just these little things that you're like, oh, they make you think while you're taking a drink, and I'm like, there's that tradition is dead to me. Mm-hmm. Well, simultaneously, I want to resurrect it. I'm like,
the most tradition that I experience when they're drinking is like taking a shot glass, tapping the bar, and then drinking. Like everybody does that together. That's pretty much the long and short of it.
Yeah,
which is a shame.
It is.
This is like just the last bit of the toast where everyone clinks glasses and drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it made me think of other traditions that we have, or that we had. I say had because there's things we choose to do, and then we choose to abandon and be like, oh, that's tradition. Like, think of Fiddler on the Roof. You remember Fiddler on the Roof?
No, I'm familiar with it, but I've never actually looked into it.
Okay, there's this great musical. God, I've never said that before. And at one spot, they talk about tradition, and it's like, this is the way we do it, and this is tradition. We do it because tradition. And then like choosing your spouse or choosing things, and we do. Wow, I haven't seen Fiddler on the Roof in a long time. and they abandon the tradition because the tradition has lost its meaning. And we do that with religion, we do it with culture, and we do it with our familial things. What's one of your...
Watching National Lampoon's Family Vacation.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation, yeah. That's one of them.
Yeah. Mine was going to my grandmother's cabin. Yeah. Not every single year, but every other year.
See, yours sounds so much better than mine.
And spending time with family, and then getting nearly punched by my uncle for playing Ninja Turtles on Nintendo wrong.
So every year you...
Every other year. and just this is what we did. We went there, and the cousins got to hang out. We'd go ice skate and play hockey on the pond or in the road, and... that was our traditions. Like, if we're going to go there, we're going to do these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's not that we've abandoned these traditions, for those ones anyways, but we've not kept them alive or not kept them going. We've let them die.
And we haven't replaced them with anything. I think it's the big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, traditions all started somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, as generations pass and things move on, I think it's fair to assume that things should change, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I noticed, I was talking with my cousin the other day about this, that we used to go for New Year's at my one aunt and uncle's place up on Frozen John here. Yeah. And, like, every year it was Chinese food, watch the fireworks, watch Casper the Friendly Ghost downstairs in the basement, maybe play a little shuffleboard because they were that kind of old folks.
Yeah. I love
and then
shuffleboard.
We'd grab the toboggans or any sort of, like, tractor tube you can get, grease her up real good, and they had this track that went down their property, and we'd go tobogganing all night.
Yeah.
And we haven't done that in probably 10 years.
Yeah.
So me and my cousin were thinking, I was like, we got to do this again. We got to do a family reunion or do something again, because we used to have them all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was ours. Like, we had a huge, tight-knit extended family between, like, my grandparents and all of the uncles and cousins and stuff like that. But all the family traditions, the family get-togethers that you used to do, where you'd kind of have those activities, like, all that's gone now. Like, since my grandpa died, and even before that to a degree, where, like, the families were growing up, you know, cousins are starting to have their own kids and their own families, stuff like that. So that unitive thing that we had is all just kind of dissipated.
Yeah, it's almost like it got too big for any one person to handle, and so they sort of just abandoned it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
And I do think it's a tragic thing, because we haven't, like you said, we didn't replace it with anything.
Yeah.
We haven't taken hold and been like, okay, there's value here. But for some reason, as adolescents, as youth, we're like, why do we do this every single year? Why do we choose to do these stupid things? Because especially as a teen,
and then you miss
teens,
it as a 30-year-old.
And as you look back and it's like, why did we stop? It's because we become too cool for school. We're like, I don't want to do that just because we do it every year. And we lose the value, but even though the foundation was in something good. Even cultural traditions of Groundhog's Day, or I don't know what they do in Italy with the chalk and chucking in the air and running through it like a bunch of homos. And I don't know.
What? Anyway.
Well, they chase a block of cheese down a hill for crying out loud.
That one.
So, like,
Oh yes, those
I would participate in that.
Those are brutal.
The running of the bulls. Could you imagine the running of the bulls tradition? It's a tradition. What is it based in? Who cares? I'm glad it exists. But in our Western culture, we do that so often. We're like, oh, this is dumb, or this is insensitive, or we just abandon them so without thought. And it's sad, because what do you replace it with? Well, nothing, because it was stupid before. It's like, yeah, but let the stupid reign sometimes.
I know what you mean. Like, last week we were talking about my conversion, and you were asking me kind of like the whys. why did you do this? And I gave you my earnest opinions on it, but today's conversation is actually kind of highlighting another reason that wasn't on the tip of my mind, but is definitely in part of the decision-making process, is inheriting a tradition. Like, Orthodoxy is kind of self-described as holy tradition. And that's something that I feel so sorely missing in my life, that I'm really looking forward to, is being the new kid in a tradition that's lived on for 2,000 years and like learning all the new things. Like, okay, what's going on here? One of the neatest things the other week, being in the parish in Chilliwack there, was looking around at all the icons on the walls and having my friend be like, oh my gosh, this is my favorite icon. And telling me the story of the person who's in the icon, or this one. It's like, those ones I don't really remember, but this one here is like here's the personal connection I have with this one, and here's the story that goes along with it. Like, it was like going through somebody's home and having the lady that lives there tell you about all the memories she has with her family. Like, that was the feeling of what it was.
It's like going to visit your long lost aunt kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that was the 100% the vibe, even though this person died like 1,200 years ago, something like that. And then I started to realize, like, oh, I'm going to celebrate Christmas on a different day this year than I ever have been. Yeah, a week later. Depending on the year.
I'm learning new things. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, so the commercial Christmas thing that Western, Westernity,
Western culture
celebrates, I'm going to do that a week later.
So you're going to work through that first week then?
I don't know. We'll see. This is all new to me. But yeah,
He's like, no, we still take the time. If we're going to get it, we're going to spend it.
Yeah. But it's going to be interesting, like, being part of something that that exists beyond me, that I'm choosing to do these things for.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in what it's going to be like, because I don't have, like, my traditions are all dead. Like, they are all dead. And so,
but you are replacing them.
I'm working on replacing them. But it's not like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm making up my own thing now that I'm going to pass on to my kids. Like, no, I'm the kid being brought into something that's beyond me.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it, but it is a little intimidating.
I'm going to call you Church Jew.
What? Church Jew?
You're like a Christian, but Jewish, because you got all these rules and all these little holidays that are special to you. I know, it's sacrilege.
I know, we were talking today. I told you, like, it's like, I like weird stuff.
Yes,
okay?
yeah. And that's why I was like, when I said the idea, I'm like, oh, this is a great topic idea, because I think there's so much to it, because we throw out things so stupid and willy-nilly. We're like, oh, it's fine, it doesn't really matter. I'm like, no, it does matter, because if it didn't matter, they wouldn't be doing it for 100 years. Yeah, but they were dumb. It's like, are they? Were they actually dumb? Because we do this stupid thing in Western, and I know I'm blaming Western culture, assuming that it's not every culture that will take your tradition, say anyone before this was stupid, but don't worry, the paleo diet was the greatest diet ever created. It's like, oh, well, early cultures had this figured out, but they didn't have
eating
this
raw
figured
testicles out. And taking tons of steroids, exactly how the cavemen did it.
But they will throw out these things and be like, oh, they didn't know what they were talking about in this sense, but trust me, gladiators were all vegans. And it's like, what the fuck? Choose a lane. Just pick a lane. They were either really dumb or really smart. Why can't you just say, hey, they might not have known things when it came to putting... Well, no, worms actually did kill bacteria in wounds. They did not know things when it came to moderation, because they would just eat until they couldn't eat anymore. Well, they didn't have any food to start with.
Well, that's just the thing. Back then, they didn't really have things in excess like we do now. Mm-hmm. If you want, I don't know, 1 million cheeseburgers or 100 cheeseburgers, you can go and get 100 cheeseburgers, right? Back then, if you wanted food, you had to go work and earn for it, and it was all you could do to get, or steal, to get what little you had at the end of the day.
I had to catch myself the other day. So when I'm stressed, I do this. I stress eat. but it's especially in economical views. So if, for instance, I don't know when my next meal, I know when it's coming. It'll be coming later today, or in the morning. And I was so stressed about money, about finances and all this stuff. And my wife was making dinner, and I don't know why, but I felt like I'm full, but I want to keep eating. And I was like, why do I feel that way? I'm fine. I'll be okay. Why do I want to eat? I know I could stop now, but I know I can continue eating. And I'm like, I think it has something to do with my nature of being stressed about money, being stressed about food, and being able to provide for my family. Am I trying to conserve as much as I can right now? I'm like, no, self-control, chill, don't eat, relax. You'll be okay. But my mind is like, no, you need to do something now to prevent worry about tomorrow. And I was like, no, I'll be fine. And so I did have to do that to myself with just relaxing. It was horrible. It was something that I had to like verbalize to my wife. I'm like, I'm stress eating. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm worried about tomorrow. And this is why I want to eat more. But I shouldn't be. So I controlled. It was horrible.
See, yeah, I stress eat for a different reason. It's just for comfort.
It is pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
What's your favorite stress food?
That's a pretty good question.
For me, it's pizza.
I love pizza.
There's so many different kinds. It's got all the food groups in it.
Yeah.
That's my self-justification. It's like, it's got all the food groups.
It's got
vegetables,
everything.
it's got your wheat, it's got your dairy and the cheese. Like, it's got everything.
Yeah. It was this horrible thing when I was working at a big corporation, big oil field corporation. If they do pizza parties, I would force down my gullet as many pieces of pizza as I could. Because you just want to get more than the next guy.
You're like, free.
It's free. I'm not paying. It's
not free. It's in lieu of bonuses.
Yes.
It's in fact costing you a lot.
I know. But you know you're not going to get the bonuses anyways. You're like, I'm going to fucking eat as much.
Might as well get my money's worth out of it.
That's right.
I'm going to make them regret pizza nights. Like, how come we're spending so much on pizza? It's Mike.
No, that's the thing. Every single guy would do it. And you got a bunch of oil field guys who just are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Mine are chips. I love chips. Hawkins cheesies.
Oh. Ain't no cheesy like a Hawkins cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
The big crunchy ones that feel like they're the size of a cigar.
Yeah. And that's my wife's favorite too. So I'm like, oh, honey, look what I got you / me.
The kind like where if you spill them in the truck and they sit on there for like 2 seconds, you've got a massive grease stain for 3 weeks.
You try not to think about what you're putting in body while you're looking at that stain. Did you figure anything yet?
Yeah, it's cheeseburgers.
It's cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's cheeseburgers or like...
Yeah, like the value menu cheeseburgers at any one of the places. Like the ones that are just like you can get for a couple bucks. It's just a single little thin piece of shitty patty, a little bit of ketchup and onion and cheese. That's it. But I can eat a whole mess of those if I'm stressed out.
After a night of drinking, I love those.
Yeah.
I don't drive.
Right?
Like if I'm in a cab or whatever, or somebody else is driving, I was like, oh, you got to go home? Like, can you grab cheeseburgers?
Can we start with McDonald's first?
Nothing's better than a half-drunk or fully drunk cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But because there's something comforting about it. And like, so even when I'm sober, but if I'm stressed, that's my go-to comfort food.
That's my tradition. Like I would almost classify that as going out drink. If I ever go out drinking, which I don't do because I'm that cheap, I'm like, I'll just stay home. I'll be fine. And I get a ride home or something happens, and it's an option. No,
like swing through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's been times we've left the podcast where I've been like,
I know you have.
we've been having whiskey all night. I really want a cheeseburger.
God, even talking about it, I'm like, oh God, I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It may happen. It may happen after this podcast is done. I'm not gonna lie.
And you ever thought about what makes you crave specific cheeseburgers? Like for me and cheeseburgers that I crave, in McDonald's specifically, it's the cheese. I don't know what it is about the cheese.
It's bad. It is horrible.
But man, it makes me want to go back for more.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like with their quarter pounder, it's the combination of the ketchup and cheese.
Oh yeah.
For whatever reason, that specific sandwich has a ratio that
Yep.
hits different.
I'm salivating
Yeah, and like
now.
you find yourself looking at the cheeseburger and going, that tail right there has more cheese sticking out of it. I'm going to save that for last.
Oh, okay, all right. Now I hear what you're saying, but I read into it a little bit. And I'm like, okay, you're one of those people that really you're thinking long term. You're a long term thinker. You're not just like, oh, that's the piece I'm going first. You're like, no, that's going to be the good one.
Yeah, save that for last
save
so that
that.
it holds me over for the next one.
God, that's making me want to go cheeseburgers right now. The thing is, I know I could justify it to the wife too. I'd be like, honey,
Hear me out.
Hear me out. I'm
Can
gonna
you
go
get us
get
cheeseburgers?
I'm gonna go us. That's the word.
Yeah.
I can't get myself cheeseburgers if I don't get her one, because that's how I get away with murder in this house.
And the great thing about those little cheeseburgers is you can put them in your inside vest pockets while you're riding. Oh, sorry, you don't have to worry about that because you have saddlebags.
I have saddlebags. Yeah,
I'm far too vain for saddlebags, so I have to find other ways.
You love the sleek bikes. You even have saddlebags for your bike, and you
Yeah,
don't put
I
them
have
on.
saddlebags for both of my bikes. I haven't put them on in years.
Yeah, but you don't want the saddlebags on your intruder.
No, or even the hard ones for Valkyrie.
No, but the intruder doesn't suit. It doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't.
No, your bags on your Valkyrie, they look fine because the motor's sticking out almost as far. I know that I'm exaggerating, but
I mean, only partially.
Only a little bit.
only not by much.
I realized I took the highway pegs off my bike while it was in storage, put them on the other one, and I just like today I was like,
You had to go over your hand, your feet up.
It's a good thing we found that one the other day on the road, hey?
oh, I know, that was amazing.
What?
Your girlfriend like had found it and she was like showing me as she drove by.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Oh, we were headed to Bijou Falls.
Yeah, Bijou Falls.
And he lost a highway peg just after we left Chetwynd. And like it was so weird, I guess, but we're falling behind him and it hit the road and it bounced probably 30 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking to myself as I see it in the air, I'm like, I bet you I could catch that. But I'm like, but I have a passenger on the back and there's traffic coming. I'm like, probably not the safest decision. I'll note this spot and we'll look for it when we come back.
Yeah.
Sure enough, we found it on the way back. And I had spotted it.
That's
And then
hilarious.
she grabbed it, put it in the bag, and then she grabbed it and handed it to Devin once we got stopped. But yeah.
I was looking for it, but I just like I didn't really know where the spot was where I lost it that day.
Yeah.
So did the bolt break again?
No, it didn't
it just
break. It
rattled
just
out.
rattled out.
Okay, because we had one break on. You had one break on you a while ago
Yeah.
on the Taylor Hill. Did you lose all the rubber teeth out of that thing?
No.
Then?
All the screws were in. It was just the screw that connected it to the
Oh yeah.
to the bracket.
So the screw just rattled itself out and it just flung off to the side.
Yeah, because
Last
that
time
bike has
we
a-
actually looked. The rubber boots that are on there actually come out if you have the bolt break off. They
Yeah,
have the
so there's a
the
bolt
break
on the
off.
end of that Kiriak and peg that goes all the way through, and it holds all those rubber spots.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one had rattled out.
Oh.
Yeah. We
So
actually found all the teeth.
we
on that one,
found
too.
we found it all.
We went on the Taylor Hill and like we're just
Now
scabbling
that's
to the side of
impressive.
the road.
Because you're looking for little black things that look like rocks.
Little-
and I was
little
looking for a
black
big
nubs,
shiny
yeah.
peg.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was. Oh, we got lucky on
It's
that
that
one.
bike every time. Like it rattles so much because like that engine is rigid mounted.
Yeah.
So it just.
Rattlesworth and Harley.
I rode.
Oh yeah, by a lot.
Did you ride that one? His intruder?
No.
No, but like I.
Nimble as fuck. I'm sorry. That thing is so light, and I'm like,
Oh, you
I
got to
could-
take
I
that. You
could
got to take that street bob for a ride. man.
I've ridden street.
I yeah you did. You rode
Yeah, I
the
went
street
and rode
bob.
the street bob at the Harley thing. It was great. It was good. It was
Yeah.
a good bike. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is fun. But I had rode the Road King and the Lowrider ST. So if you ride those two bikes before that one,
Yeah.
it's not fair.
Yeah. Well, I went from a Ducati to this, and I'm just like, this feels fine. It just
Yeah.
feels like a slower version of my Ducati.
Yeah. Oh, I also rode. The thing is, I rode that one after the Breakout, and it was way better than the Breakout.
Yeah.
Didn't care for the Breakout.
The Breakout and the Fat Boy. We tried them both.
Did
They
not
were
care.
just garbage.
Yeah.
Fat Boy is comfy though.
I didn't like it at all.
Really? Oh, I love the feel of the Fat Boy.
I hated the feel of the new Fat Boy.
I didn't try the Fat Boy. I was gonna try and ride the Fat Boy, but somebody else picked it up, so I just hopped on the Street Bob, and it was fine. It wasn't anything special, but I would just rode the Lowrider ST and the Road King,
Which is the Lowrider ST is like a slightly bigger version of the Street Bob, pretty much.
No, it was, and it was great. It actually surprised me how much I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I really like this bike, and I was worried because I love the idea of the Road King, and I was like, oh, this might displace the Road King's ideal.
Yeah.
And then I rode the Road King. I'm like, no, this is what I want more than anything. But the Street Bob was still good. It was very, very good. Just my styling is Road King.
That's fair.
Just me. It's just what I like. But this Lowrider ST was fucking phenomenal. Just because of the aggressive stance and everything that went with it. So
yeah.
But yeah. A lot of motorcycle talk on this one. I don't even care about the people that are listening anymore.
Yeah. I mean, and chances are, like, not everybody's listening, because we did a whole episode after we went to the Test Your Metal Day there. Like, all of our thoughts on all the bikes right after we finished on it.
Right, yeah.
So we had a whole talk about those bikes.
Yeah. Oh, felt like hot garbage after.
Yeah, getting back on our 20-year-old metrics afterward. We're like, oh, this is sad.
Fuck this bike.
This is sad.
Yeah, I went to one of those back in 2014. I think I took 6 different Harleys out.
Yeah.
And like, as far as aesthetics go, the Y Glide is probably the one that I liked the most, but I could not ride it. It rattled so hard that I couldn't keep my feet on the pegs, And that was it just turned me off of the whole bike.
The new Harleys are unbelievable.
They're so smooth.
Yeah.
Well, you obviously know that because you have one.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the bikes that we were riding was just like, oh, this is not the Harleys of old.
Yeah. My favorite by far that day, though, was the Nightster.
Yeah, you like that one.
Yeah, the little Revolution Max engine. Like, that was such a peppy little bike. Like, that was fun.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how fast it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was remarkable.
Yeah, something about big guys wanting small bikes. It's really
Yeah, I know. Dave at the Standard,
huge, but
like
at the
tattoo
same
artist,
time-
he had a Nightster, loved it, and then he sold it for reasons like his kids and his girlfriend at the time. But yeah, he's
What is it with
I
people
love that
doing that?
Nightster, but he's a big dude. He's like 6'2" and got to weigh at least 250 pounds.
Oh yeah, like I'm a solid 260.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not 6'2".
No, I'm not. Thank you for pointing that out, Michael.
It's like he went from sounding all right to
Thank you for pointing that out.
You're 10 pounds lighter, though.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, but you suited that bike. Honestly, riding beside you, because I was on the Sportster S when you were doing that, you suited that bike. I had a buddy that was pissed off at me. He's like, he flipped me the bird, and he's like, you suit that bike really well for the Sportster S. Like, I'm not trying. This isn't my style. Or I don't feel like it's my style, but body-wise, like, I kind of fucking fit it. It really sucks. Stylistically, that would be mine, but no, I want a big thing, stupid thing with ape hangers and loud pipes. You are just all over.
I'm
the
all
place
over
today.
it tonight. Yep. It's true.
It's true. Well, simultaneously, it is quite late, and we're just under an hour. We got 7 minutes till we hit the hour mark.
Oh, we should wrap up. It's been a long day already.
It has.
It's been a great day, though.
Oh shit! I turned up my microphone a little bit. Everything was very loud for a second there. I'm like, oh, that's way louder than necessary. Yeah, it's been a fun day. Got to ride. Got to have a few beers with some buddies. Make some horrible. I was biting my tongue like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, yeah. Like, a clubhouse with another club is not the place you want to cut loose with all the jokes that you really want to make about the president.
Some of the jokes, yes, but just
You got to read the room, man.
read the room. Don't get punched in the face. And I got jokes. That's the problem. I think if I've had a couple beer, I'm more likely to say the stuff I probably shouldn't. I'm like, no. Don't be a retard. Just shut up. Laugh to yourself. Laugh to your buddy, but shut up.
Tell him about it afterwards.
Oh, yeah. So this is your first time on the Blue Collar Philosophers podcast. This is our domain that we actually recorded. Do you know what I really like about this place? One, it's comfortable. Like, you're not sitting here being like annoyed most of the time, and the sound is so fucking good.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not a whole lot of background noise or anything like that. So
that's that
shag carpet hanging from the wall.
shag carpet that I found on the side of the road, and these panels.
That's literally a found in the ditch carpet.
Like, I wish I was joking.
That's awesome.
Don't touch it.
I'm not
If
gonna
it's
say
legitimately found in a ditch. It's remarkably clean.
Yeah, I'm not saying you won't get herpes, but don't take a chance. And then these panels that I built, it's so fun. It's a good space. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing this. And we get to shoot the shit and talk about stuff. Yeah, don't abandon tradition just because you think you're too cool for school. And
if you have, find new traditions to enforce with your own family and friends that you can just enjoy for the rest of your life.
Carry forth. Die Hard at Christmas. I don't know. Whatever you got to do. Just have something. Mine was, I didn't even talk about mine. Hockey and also Home Alone. The original Home Alone, not the third one.
Oh yeah,
The first and second, good. Everything after that, garbage.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap up. I'm gonna toast with an orthodox toast.
Orthodox people.
Yes. In peace, health, and happiness, God grant you many years. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
All right, guys. God bless.